Day 41, Friday the 3rd of March, and the musical theme continues this week. I have just come back from Wigmore Hall, where I went to a wonderful concert. It was a program of Dvorak, Franz Schubert, Richard Strauss, and was basically exploring two cities, Prague and Vienna. So I'm just looking at the program. From there, that was lovely. The singer was bass baritone Adam Plaszetka, and the pianist was Gary Matthewman. And they dressed very dapperly in tails and white bow ties. And I enjoyed it very much, went by myself, and yeah. So that was my evening. This morning I found this wonderful little book for just £1 on Portobello Market. It's a book about the artist Paul Klee, who happens to share my birth date. He was born on the 18th of December 1879 and died in 1940, so just before the end of the First World War. Before the end of the Second World War. And the discovery I made today about Paul Klee, reading just through this whilst I was having coffee in the morning, was that he was born into a very musical family. So his father was an organist, a conductor, and taught singing. His mother was extremely musical, and Paul Klee himself grew up to become an extremely gifted violinist. So musical influence was huge, and had a huge impact also on his artistic work. He ended up not becoming a musician, but a prolific painter, artist, but that musical thread continued throughout his whole life. So I enjoyed reading that because I never knew that about Paul Klee. And yeah, the other aspect of my day that is of significance was that I've been continuing to write my Schubert play, Schiller play, mixing all the Austrian artists up. I'm writing my Schiller play, and something I learnt from the Rhine God rehearsals at the beginning of this year with Richard Jones, who was the director of this production, was in the early stages of our rehearsal, he was basically telling us all, singers, actors, dancers, everyone around, look, today we're just roughing it in. We're not looking for polished details where we'll have time to fine-tune things later. What's important right now is to have a sketch of the scene, and for us to all to kind of have a kind of just general awareness of how the play unfolds. So rough, sketch in. Later we'll fine-tune things. And I'm trying to adopt that kind of approach at this moment to my play. You know, I do have a tendency to want to perfect and literally redraft sentences, let alone versions of a script. And I think when one does that, you kind of can fall into a trap because you're zooming in so specifically on a sentence or a word, which is of course it's important, but at the early stages of writing, I think what's maybe more important is to get the broad outline of what it is you're trying to communicate, get a bigger picture of the story and the dynamic, the mood, rough it in, get the essential parts, and then later on you can then fine-tune things, take things out, refine the the details. So that's kind of my approach at this moment. Really get things down, because I've done a lot of research recently and writing and reading, relatively speaking, of course, and I will continue to do more. But yeah, I think kind of, getting those main points down. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at, still in this very musical framework of thinking, seeing wonderful art, from the ballet this week to lots of classical music. Tomorrow I'm performing in the evening, Rheingold, and yeah, hopefully it's all kind of permeating and seeping into my work and my writing. That's what I hope. Anyway, I'm wishing you a great start to the weekend, and look forward to speaking with you again tomorrow. Good night.